Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's incredibly relevant to our health: how the food we eat influences our risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It's a condition affecting millions, and understanding the role of our diet is a powerful step towards prevention and management. You might be thinking, can a single recipe cause diabetes? And the answer is, not really. So in this video, we're going to go through 10 categories of recipes that, when they become staples in your diet, can contribute to that increased risk. We'll explore why they pose a risk, looking at the ingredients and their effects on our bodies. And most importantly, we'll talk about delicious and practical ways to modify these recipes or swap them out for healthier alternatives. Get ready to empower yourself with knowledge for a healthier kitchen and a healthier you. Point 1. Sugar-sweetened beverages and drink recipes. We're talking about more than just popping open a can of soda here. This category includes all those tempting homemade drinks like sweet iced teas, fruit punches made with added syrups or sugar, flavored lemonades, and even many smoothie recipes that are loaded with fruit juice concentrates and added sweeteners. And let's not forget the array of coffee shop drinks that are essentially dessert in a cup, or alcoholic cocktails mixed with sugary sodas and mixers. Why are these particularly problematic when it comes to diabetes risk? The primary culprit is the sheer volume of rapidly absorbed sugar. When you drink your calories, especially in sugary forms, they hit your bloodstream much faster than solid food. This rapid influx of glucose causes a sharp spike in your blood sugar. Your pancreas has to work overtime to release enough insulin to deal with this sugar load. Over time, this constant demand can exhaust your insulin-producing cells and lead to insulin resistance, where your body's cells become less responsive to insulin. Point 2. Recipes heavy in refined grains. This category includes a vast number of popular recipes. Think classic white bread loaves, pasta dishes using standard white pasta, rice pilafs made with white rice, and the foundations of countless baked goods like cakes, cookies, muffins, and pastries made with all-purpose white flour. The issue here lies in the processing. When grains are refined, the outer bran and the inner germ are removed. These are the parts that contain the majority of the fiber, B vitamins, iron, and other beneficial nutrients. What's left is primarily the starchy endosperm. From a diabetes risk perspective, recipes high in refined grains behave very similarly to sugary drinks in your body. Because they lack fiber, they are quickly broken down into glucose during digestion. This rapid conversion leads to a quick and significant rise in blood sugar levels. This again puts stress on your insulin system over time, increasing the likelihood of insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes. The lower fiber content also means these foods are often less filling, which can contribute to overeating and weight gain. Consider recipes like a creamy Alfredo sauce with white fettuccine, white rice-based stir-fries, unless they're loaded with veggies and have small portions of rice, or habitually baking with only white flour. Point 3. Recipes featuring processed and red meats. This category includes recipes where processed meats are key ingredients. Think casseroles with sausage, pasta dishes with bacon, hot dogs or burgers made with processed patties, and recipes using a lot of deli meats. It also includes recipes featuring large portions of red meat like steaks, roasts, and ground beef. The connection between these meats and type 2 diabetes risk is becoming increasingly clear through research. Processed meats are often loaded with sodium, saturated fats, and chemical preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. These components have been linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and damage to pancreatic cells. Red meat, while a source of protein and iron, is also often high in saturated fat, and some studies suggest the heme iron it contains or compounds formed during high-temperature cooking may also contribute to diabetes risk. Consider recipes like a breakfast fry-up with multiple types of processed meat, a large meatloaf made with fatty ground beef, or a dinner centered around a very large steak. While lean protein is an important part of a healthy diet, The type and amount of meat, particularly processed and red meat, matters. Point 4. Recipes high in saturated and trans fats. This category covers recipes that generously use saturated fats from sources like butter, lard, coconut oil, which is high in saturated fat, full-fat dairy products such as heavy cream, cheese, and whole milk, and fatty cuts of meat. It also includes recipes that might still contain trans fats, often found in partially hydrogenated oils used in some margarines, shortenings, commercially baked goods, and fried foods. While regulatory efforts have reduced trans fats in many places, it's still important to be aware. Why are these fats particularly concerning for diabetes risk? Saturated and especially trans fats have been shown to negatively impact insulin sensitivity. They can interfere with how your cells respond to insulin, making it harder for glucose to be taken up from the bloodstream. These fats also contribute to inflammation and significantly increase the risk of heart disease and stroke, which are common and serious complications of diabetes. Think about recipes for rich, creamy sauces made with lots of butter and heavy cream. Many traditional pastry and pie crust recipes that use shortening or lard, or recipes for commercially produced cookies and cakes that may contain trans fats. Even seemingly healthy recipes can become high in unhealthy fats if generous amounts of butter or full-fat dairy are used. Point 5. Deep-fried recipes. Deep frying is a popular cooking method that unfortunately turns many ingredients into high-fat, calorie-dense foods. Recipes for deep-fried chicken, fish, and chips, French fries, donuts, and countless other fried snacks and main dishes involve submerging food in hot oil, causing it to absorb a significant amount of fat. Beyond the addition of unhealthy fats, the high temperatures used in deep frying can also lead to the formation of harmful compounds. Regularly consuming deep-fried foods is strongly linked to weight gain due to their high calorie and fat content. This weight gain contributes to insulin resistance and significantly increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The inflammatory effects of some fats and compounds in fried foods may also play a role. Think about the recipes used in fast food restaurants or traditional comfort food recipes passed down through generations that involve a deep fryer. While delicious on rare occasions, making these a regular part of your diet is a significant risk factor. Point 6. Recipes with excessive added sugars, beyond drinks, desserts. We've already covered sugary drinks and obvious desserts, but added sugars are pervasive in many other types of recipes. This category includes recipes for savory sauces, marinades, glazes, and dressings where sugar is added to enhance flavor, balance acidity, or create a specific texture. Many recipes also rely on commercially prepared ingredients like pasta sauces, ketchup, barbecue sauce, and salad dressings, which often have surprisingly high amounts of added sugar. Why is this a concern for diabetes risk? Just like with other forms of sugar, excessive intake of added sugars from these sources contributes to a high overall calorie intake, often leading to weight gain. It also contributes to blood sugar fluctuations and puts additional strain on your pancreas and insulin system over time, increasing the risk of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Your body processes added sugar the same way, whether it's in a cookie or a savory sauce. Think about recipes for sticky barbecue ribs with a sugary sauce, salad dressings made with a lot of added sugar or honey, or pasta dishes that use pre-made sauces high in sugar. Point 7. Recipes encouraging large portion sizes. This isn't a recipe type in terms of ingredients, but rather the scale of the recipe and how it's served. Recipes that are designed to yield very large individual servings, or simply the habit of filling up large plates or bowls to the brim, can significantly increase your total calorie and carbohydrate intake in a single meal. The impact of portion size on diabetes risk is significant because consuming more food than your body needs, especially carbohydrate-rich foods, directly leads to higher blood sugar levels after eating. This requires a larger insulin response from your pancreas. Consistently eating oversized portions means your pancreas is constantly working harder, and the repeated high blood sugar spikes contribute to insulin resistance and weight gain, both major factors in the development of type 2 diabetes. Even if a recipe uses relatively healthy ingredients, consuming excessive amounts can be detrimental. Think about family-sized recipes, where it's easy to go back for seconds or thirds, or restaurant-sized portions that are often double or triple what's considered a standard serving. Point 8. Recipes low in fiber. While we've already mentioned that refined grains are low in fiber, this point highlights recipes that lack sufficient fiber overall, regardless of the grain type. This includes recipes that don't feature enough non-starchy vegetables, fruits, legumes, like beans and lentils, nuts, or whole grains. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that your body can't digest. This indigestible nature is actually its superpower. When present in a meal, fiber helps slow down the rate at which carbohydrates are broken down into glucose and absorbed into the bloodstream. This results in a more gradual and stable rise in blood sugar levels after eating, preventing those sharp spikes that strain your insulin system. Additionally, fiber adds bulk to your meals, helping you feel fuller for longer, which can prevent overeating and support weight management. Think about recipes that consist primarily of processed meat and refined starches with very few vegetables, or desserts made with just white flour, sugar, and fat, without the addition of fruits or nuts. Point 9. Recipes relying on certain food additives. While research in this area is still evolving, studies are increasingly suggesting a potential link between the regular consumption of certain food additives, particularly those prevalent in ultra-processed foods, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Additives like certain emulsifiers, which help mix oil and water, artificial sweeteners, and some preservatives are under scrutiny. Why might these additives pose a risk? Some research suggests they may negatively impact our gut microbiome, the community of bacteria in our digestive system that plays a crucial role in overall health, including metabolism and insulin sensitivity. Other studies propose that certain additives might contribute to low-grade inflammation or directly interfere with insulin signaling. Recipes that heavily rely on pre-made sauces, mixes, packaged snacks, and convenience foods are more likely to contain these additives. Think about recipes for quick meals made from boxed mixes, baked goods using commercial pastry dough, or dishes where the flavor comes primarily from packets of seasoning or pre-made sauces with extensive ingredient lists. Point 10. Recipes substituting healthy fats with unhealthy ones. This category highlights recipes where unhealthy fat choices are made, either in the original recipe design or through substitutions made during cooking. This involves using saturated fats like butter, lard, or shortening, or trans fats from partially hydrogenated oils, when healthier unsaturated fats could have been used. It could also involve using full-fat dairy or fatty meats, when leaner options would work just as well or better from a health perspective. As we've emphasized, saturated and trans fats can negatively impact insulin sensitivity and cardiovascular health. Choosing to incorporate large amounts of these fats into your recipes, even in otherwise healthy dishes, increases the overall unhealthy fat load of your diet. Think about recipes for sautéing vegetables in large amounts of butter instead of olive oil, using full-fat cream cheese generously in a dip recipe, or using fatty ground meat when a leaner version would suffice. And there you have it. 10 kinds of recipes to be mindful of if you're looking to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, I know this might seem like a lot, and it's easy to feel discouraged or like you have to completely overhaul your diet overnight. But that's not the goal here. The goal is awareness. By understanding how certain ingredients and recipe types impact your body, you can start making small, manageable changes that add up over time. If you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, Or if you have concerns about your risk factors, it is always best to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can provide personalized advice and help you create an eating plan that's right for you. What are your favorite healthy recipe swaps or tips for making recipes healthier? Share them in the comments below. Let's create a community of healthy eating ideas. If you found this video informative and helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on health, nutrition, and making healthier choices in the kitchen. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.